Hello everyone, how's it going? Today is a special day and I'll tell you right away why. So right now we're on our way driving to one of our favorite restaurant. It's more like a breakfast restaurant we think, and in Bahrain. So the reason why today's special because today is our 1 year anniversary with Bahrain. Yay! Yeah, so we just want to make a short video today on the way driving there, talk about like so far, it's been a year, and then how we, feel about Bahrain, like how's like life in here, and then in general, like how's our experience in this year.
Yeah, so we came here exactly a year ago, and just so you all know, is we came here on a visit visa, and it was our family's very first time being here, and we kind of pre-selected this country as a place for our family to live. So it's sort of like it was a kind of going all in, I guess. Like it just kind of obviously we did a lot of looking into quite a lot of things, and I think that for the most part, I think we were fully prepared to come here. There were some small surprises here and there, and as well as just kind of coming here in the middle of the, like, not the worst part of the COVID lockdowns, but there were still several restrictions, especially with getting the residence permit and this sort of finding a property and getting all this paperwork sorted out. So that definitely was a big challenge. So if you're thinking of doing the same thing at this point in time, then you would definitely have probably significantly less roadblocks in terms of all the paperwork involved to doing this, I think, right?
Yeah, I think for time wise, and then what we went through, it's probably it took the longest for the paperwork.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, and right now the restrictions are much easier compared to before. So again, if you want to do this right now, it will be much faster, I would say. So the first part I kind of want to talk about is probably school wise, and there's a lot of school in Bahrain. So for the ones I heard the most is the British school in Bahrain. I think it's called BHB, and then also the St. Christopher's school. They have the one for the lower elementary and also for the older kids. I think that's in different campus. And there's also the Canadian school here as well, and then also the American school in Rifa area. So since we're actually homeschooling our son, so we don't really if for school specifically questions, we don't really know exactly, but these are the school we heard the most of.
I think one thing with just if you are curious about homeschooling in the Middle East is that according to some pretty good sources we have, that if you decide to do this with your child, that you will run into some point in time where you have to have some evaluations done and probably some testing. That's how it works? If you want to get into a high school diploma here?
Yeah, I think it's the last year, if you're, but that's only for if you're Bahraini though. But if you're not Bahraini, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I think it's pretty unregulated if otherwise, because I don't think we have any plans of sending him to a post-secondary education here. So it's So I guess that's with homeschooling anyway. That is.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the economic part of this so far, and we know this this is also kind of through sources, and also something we kind of notice ourselves as well, is the housing price is kind of raising slowly a little bit. And then also there's one big thing is I'm sure you guys all aware of things are going, the price of food, and then clothing and everything, basically everything, the price is going up like crazy. But when it comes to the Middle East, and it's actually not very bad, right, Neil?
Well, it is definitely going up, and it is definitely impacting people, but I think this is probably a separate video we're going to make, is basically the overall message is that the rising cost of living in the Middle East, including Bahrain, is definitely impacting people, but the thing that the increase of the price in the Middle East is at a much lower pace of increase compared to other places in the world, for example, US, Canada, European Union, probably Australia. So it's just kind of something that we notice, and I think a lot of it has to do with it obviously helps that the currency is sort of a dollar pegged currency because it's the dollar's been doing quite well against pretty much all currencies in the world.
So now we're driving towards the restaurant, and then we're passing this area. It's called Muharraq. So Muharraq, I think it's kind of like the older Bahrain. There used to be like I think all the government buildings. It used to be in Muharraq. So there's a lot of historical, houses for like some of the famous people. They used to live. I think like the king from before. Okay, don't quote me on the details, yeah, but yeah, like Muharraq, like the old city of Muharraq have a lot of historical sites, and it's very beautiful here as well. So when it comes to like activities, like what to do in Bahrain, well, since we have kids and we're like, old married couples, so we honestly don't know where are the young kids hung out. There's like, what we heard is what, Jafar?
Well, we know where they hang out. We just like,
well, we don't know exactly what kind of lifestyle
why would
with
we go
them. Right. So since we have a little one, and then we're more kind of like looking at the area of like family activities. So just right now, like as today, the 29th, there's actually still the summer festival is going on. So like COVID has been happening for more than 2 years. So for the past 2 years, I don't think they had this the summer festival. So this year is like the first one after COVID, I would say. And it's a free event with like so many workshops, and then from like the very little one to I think age 15, that's kind of the cutoff. So they have free workshops, and there's also a lot of amazing shows. Yeah, as I said, like it's all free.
So that's at the cultural center, I think.
Yeah, so that's like the culture center, the Bahrain Museum, and also the art center. So they're like, you turn here. So they're like all together in one area, and then so many different like activities, workshops, and shows. So we just went to saw the I think there was the science show, and also the puppet show, and also the bubble show. So it was like absolutely amazing. And there's another event we've been going. It's also a free event as well. You're surprised actually how much free event there is in here. So there's a yoga class we've been going for. Actually, they only have it in the weekends, in the morning, but they actually give you free yoga mats, and then there's like again free course. They give you water and fruit. So they just like, I was just talking to Neil, like, can you think about somewhere else where they actually have free yoga class, and then even giving you like yoga mats and all these things, and really can't really think about anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's definitely helpful. It's like and that one is at I think Dana Mall, is it?
Yeah, Dana Mall, right, yeah.
So
and also so this is one thing we heard is there used to be way more free events, especially for kids in the summer, but because of COVID and there's a lot of things kind of like shut down, but hopefully it's kind of like slowly rising again, and then especially for families, right?
Yeah, so you're saying that you heard that earlier, like before we arrived here, you
yes,
said there
before
was kind
COVID,
of more free stuff there.
Yeah, there's even more events for like families.
Yeah, well, I think pretty much
summer,
like any ministry event seems like most of those are free.
Right,
There's,
yeah.
like at the fort, there's a Arad Fort just here in Muharraq as well. They had some events there we went to one time.
Right,
that was
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, so the like the what's it called, the ministry, yeah. So the ministry here, and also like the authorities, and basically like the government ones, as Neil said, and they're very accommodating, and then have a lot of great events for like kids, families, yeah. So now we're arriving at the restaurant. So the restaurant inside of this park, it's such a beautiful park. I think it's called Dohan Arad Park. I'll put a
there, Arad base.
Okay, so it's called the Arad Bay Park, and as you can see, like it's really beautiful here with like kids playgrounds, and I think there's also a mosque inside as well. And then the restaurant is just it's right by the water. And every single time when we go for breakfast, and then the water, like it just for some reason worked out, the tide is actually low. And then sometimes we actually even saw flamingos in here too. It was so beautiful, yeah. So now we arrive at the restaurant, and this is the name of the restaurant over here. And we really like here because like their food is really good. It's a very local Bahraini restaurant, very authentic. And also the view, look at the view, how beautiful this is. Yeah, especially we always sit right beside the water. and then you can see it outside, and like when the tide is low and then some birds come, it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so here we are. We just kind of sat down, and it's a very bright morning. So we just like to sit here by the water. And in the winter time, they'll actually open up all these windows, and it's very nice to have a nice breeze coming here in the morning. So just kind of right now they kind of turn on the AC and just kind of close all the windows.
All right, so looks like we got our food here right now. And then of course we cannot have any meal without the typical like Middle East bread, which is super delicious. And then we got some egg dish, and there's different types of chickpeas here. And then that's an eggplant dish, lots of chickpeas. And this one I can't remember what's exactly called. It's called chicken something. So it's kind of like spring roll with chicken inside. It's super delicious. That's why we got two here. And then this is the karak tea. Oh yeah, and then there's also the Kuwaiti eggs. That's what they call right here. Yeah. Delicious? You guys enjoying it?
Well, once we start eating, we will.
All right.
What do you mean once we start eating?
All right. Happy 1 year anniversary, Bahrain. Cheers. Cheers.
Okay.
Ooh, it's good tea.
Yeah. Sure.
Correct.
Karak tea, yeah. This is one of the things, and I didn't know it exists until we got here, which I love it. I make it my home sometimes myself too.
Okay, so every time you go to restaurants, guarantee you get lots of this. Every time you ask for something else, they always give you more of that.
Yeah, these breads are super, super delicious, but they're so dangerous just because, you know, it's pure carb, right? But they're so good. So we're just talking the other day, we said we should come here every single year to celebrate our Bahrain anniversary.
So is there a reason why you kind of picked this restaurant? Because you come here a few other times.
Oh yeah, I come here actually with my best friend in Bahrain. We come here a lot, and for breakfast. Well, it's a beautiful park to start with, and you know, look at the view. The view is absolutely spectacular, and I think the water is actually splendid. The water, I think it's going down right now a bit, and yeah, like there's the times we saw flamingo.
Yeah,
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to come back in wintertime because it's.
Oh, wintertime is
seems
even
like the
better.
atmosphere
Yes.
here is kind of because you feel like you're eating outside, like kind of sitting by the water.
Oh, yeah.
They open the windows.
Yeah, like all these doors are like wide open, and then remember like the sun comes in here, and then you're like sitting there. It's like nice and warm because I think the winter temperature here is like what, between 15 to low 20s, mid 20s.
Well, at night it could be 15, but
Right, but yeah, during the day it's like around mid 20s, so
yeah,
it's
it's
like
going to be low to mid 20s.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard to get this kind of like weather, I guess, in other places.
Yeah.
But of course, summer is extremely hot.
Let me tell you something. That once we were in a hotel, and then we were like, oh, let's go take a walk outside to the soup. And then we walked to I was like sweating my face off. And I'm like, oh, can we go inside and rest? It's going to be much more cooler in there. So then we went there just to cool off, and then Mommy was like, okay, let's keep going. And then I'm like, oh, can we go in there again? And then finally we got there.
Yeah, that was like last year around this time. You know, really good memories. Like, you know, like our whole year is really full with like so many great memories. And not talking about, you know, like the crab fishing. But that might be for like a video on its own.
Oh yeah, because I guess.
And of course, I love the Lost Paradise if I go there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good one. The Lost Paradise. That's a water park in here.
Yeah.
It's called the Lost Paradise of Delmont. Now we finish our Bahrain anniversary breakfast, and then so we came outside, and you can see the water compared to earlier. It's so much lower now. That's the really great part about this restaurant. Is for us, it's really the view here. Yeah, too bad today I don't see any like flamingos or, well, there's some birds. Yeah, I don't really know exactly what kind of bird they are, but yeah, there's some birds here, wildlife, so it's really beautiful. Alright, so now we finished our breakfast and we're heading home now. So just, in general, this whole year, we're super happy in Bahrain, and then we're really glad the decision we made about moving here. So I think so far everything we kind of like expected, and then the thing we did research about, it's everything's kind of like within what we know.
I think a year into it, we're definitely in a lot better shape than we were a year ago on the day we arrived.
Yes, yes. Alright, so hope you enjoyed the video, and if there's anything you guys want to know about Bahrain, and just shoot us a question in the comment section, and then we can, if we know, then we'll make a video right away. If we don't, then just give us some time to do research, and then we'll get back to you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.